Hey everybody, welcome back to Grit and Grind. So it's the very beginning of May, and the sun is shining, but it's not overly warm over here. But just to give you an update of where we're at, grass is growing like crazy, and I can barely even keep up with the lawn back here just because we're on a ridge, and it's hard to tell on camera, but that right there at the back is about 10 feet lower than the road behind me. And I just, for the very first time, was able to get all the way back there. You can actually see where the line is. Focus. Where the line is. Where I finally was able to get back up in here. But anyway, that is not what we are here to talk about today. So I'll take you back into the garage and explain the title of this video. It wants to go. There we go. If you like this content, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So what I want to talk about is probably the most overlooked, at least I feel like, overlooked item at Harbor Freight. And I never paid attention to these at all until very recently. And I got a 1/4 inch, a 3/8, and a 1/2 inch Quinn ratchet. And that is not what I went in there for, which if any of you are like me, I'm sure you probably do the same thing. You go in for something and get something you are not looking for or didn't expect you would need. But in this case, I was there and I was looking for something similar, but not these. So, why did I buy these? Well, it's not what I went in for, but let's back up a bit. So you guys have seen this or versions of it because I have a lot of these. I have 2 or 3. My dad has a couple as well. But normally, I buy the Pittsburgh branded tools. And I have never really had a problem with any of them. I actually like them. But there was a unique opportunity here. Because if I pull one of these out, these are fine ratchets. I've never had a problem with them. I've used this set a lot. And I have individuals of these ratchets even over there in the toolbox, I should say. But the one thing about these is they are 72 teeth. So that means for this to go around a full revolution, there's 72 teeth to make it happen. And you can hear all the clicks. But what I went in for was not these. I was doing some research, talking to people in the Harbor Freight forums on Facebook, and the Icon branded ratchets are 90 tooth instead of 72 tooth. Well, I kept going into my local Harbor Freight because Inside Track Club members do have a little bit of a deal on, or discount on, the Icon ratchets, not the ones with the comfort handles, but the ones that are metal all the way through. And that's what I've used for years prior to getting these. And sometimes these handles get in the way just because they're a little bit fat. But I wanted to go get those Icon ratchets. And there are 3 Harbor Freights in my area, and all 3 of them were constantly sold out. I'd been checking for weeks to try and get my hands on the 90 tooth icon ratchets. So finally, I was fed up and I did a little bit of looking at these. Normally, I just go right past them. It's either Pittsburgh or I'll get the icon brand if it's something that I think is worth the money. And the 90 tooth ratchet, I wanted it just because when you're working in tight spaces, the more teeth you have, the better you're able to actually screw and unscrew whatever it is you're working on. So, or bolt and unbolt whatever it is you're working on. But in looking, do you see that right there? Precision 90 tooth gear with a 4-degree arc swing. It wasn't really the arc swing that got me, but it was the 90 tooth. And it even says it on here. So that, you can probably hear, is very satisfying. Got good clicks. But what that means is every time this makes a revolution, it's going around 90 teeth. So when you're working in confined spaces, it works out better for you because you are able to get a better turn out of your bolt when you're working in confined spaces the more teeth you have. And Snap-on, who I'm not going to get into if they're better or not. I know their tools are expensive and I can't necessarily afford them or I can't justify affording them. They're usually an 80 tooth to, I believe, 110 tooth. So I'm not saying this is Snap-on quality by any means, but you're getting similar types of equipment, that 90 tooth, which is the normal standard for a lot of their ratchets, for not even a quarter of the price. So I'll put up a graphic on what I paid for these versus what I would have paid if I went in to get the icon version without the rubber that I originally went in there for. So here is the 1/4-inch drive for $33 or $23 if you're an Inside Track Club member. This one is the 3/8 drive, and you notice it does say 90 tooth and 4-inch arc swing, just like the Quinn ratchets, but it's $43. And the 1/2-inch drive is $48, but $35 if you are a Inside Track Club member. Now here are the Quinns with the handle, comfort handle, and you can see $19 for the 1/4-inch, $22 for the 3/8, and $25 for the 1/2-inch, and they're 90 tooth, 4-degree swing, and quite a bit cheaper. All right, so I took the 3/8 drive ratchet out of here, but I put it back in because we're going to use this just to demonstrate how much better this is going to be. So I have it all the way to the right here, and hopefully this picks it up. Did you hear it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, till I get to the end. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if I put my 3/8 drive Pittsburgh in here, we can see the difference. So I'll do that real quick. So 3/8, and it's the Pittsburgh. These are 72 tooth. So in the same packaging as the 3/8 Quinn, just so we can get an idea. And 4, you heard it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I didn't necessarily catch it with that one, but of course we were getting 5, and sometimes I was getting 6. And with this one, a couple times that I tried it, I was actually getting 3, not 4. But of course, I'm getting 4 on here. So every time you go around, you're getting more turns and able to turn your socket better when you're working in confined spaces. So, why do I say that these are overlooked? Well, nobody is talking about them from what I can tell on all of the forums that I was in on Facebook and from all my reading. Nobody was saying just go for the Quinn. Everyone is either sticking with their Pittsburghs or they're going for the Icon branded stuff. And I have some Icon branded tools and they're nice, don't get me wrong. But I always overlooked these thinking there was nothing really worth taking a look at here. I just thought, what are you paying a little extra money for? Is it really any good? Till I started reading the packaging. The Icon are also a 90 tooth gear, just like these are. But you're paying more for them. And it would seem to me, I'm not saying they're just as good, but if I can get more for less money and they actually have these in stock, they're always in stock. The only thing that I ever see my local Harbor Freights actually run out of stock on is the Pittsburgh stuff because it's cheaper, or when there's deals on the Icon ratchets. But due to the pricing that I showed you, and it could fluctuate regionally, so this is in Western New York, just keep in mind, it's still cheaper to buy these. Plus, you're getting the handle with them that you're not getting with the Icon if I would have bought them at a similar price, but they're still more expensive. So, what I'm saying is if you like to save money and you want something that's just a little bit better tool, I would seriously give Quinn a look because I thought there was no reason to get them until I started reading. And actually, what sparked this is I was talking to one of the cashiers at my local Harbor Freight, and I said, hey, I was looking at these because I came in to buy the Icon ratchets, but you're always out of them. And it's not just you, it's every local Harbor Freight around here. So I'm not blaming you. But then I got to reading, and these are also a 90 tooth, just like the Icon. What is the difference? And they told me flat out, there really isn't. You're just paying for the name. They are still a 90 tooth ratchet, just like these, but they are more expensive. The Icon stuff is good, don't get me wrong, and it's still cheaper than buying Snap-on, but these are even cheaper. So definitely give these a check out next time you are at your local Harbor Freight. And don't be afraid to spend just a little bit more money than you would on these. I looked it up. These are the prices here locally, and it's really about a $20 difference to buy these three over the Quinn. So $20 less. A little bit more money than you would on these to get something that's just a little bit better quality. And these are fine. I've used them for years. I never have a problem with them. I like them, but I wanted just a little bit better. And that's what I got here. All right, guys, so that's my little public service announcement on Harbor Freight and the Quinn branded tools. Let me know what else you want to see down in the comments below. I'm sorry that the garage is a little bit of a mess, so we do have some renovations going on in the house, and I had to get some of this stuff over here, so including new flooring that you can see behind me. But let me know if you found this helpful. Do you enjoy this kind of content? What do you want to see? I know stump grinder content. I promise as soon as I can, I'm going to get it there. But with the rain every other day that we have had, it's really wet and it's really hard to get any work done. And people aren't just thinking about their stumps just yet. But I promise you, as soon as I can, I'm going to get more stump grinding content in for you. But found this helpful, leave it in the comments below. Let me know what other tools you like, even if they're not from Harbor Freight. I can't justify spending the money on the Snap-on tools, but I know some of the other brands out there, like Tecton, I've had good luck with. But this was just a good deal that I couldn't really pass up. So I'm excited to give these a try and put them in the rotation. But let me know in the comments below, what do you want to see? If you like this content, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And there's going to be more videos popping up on your screen now. And we'll catch you next time on Grit and Grind.